Let's bring in Achike Chude, who is a member of the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room. Good to see you, and thanks for your time. Not too good a moment for Nigerians at this point, and Labour has spoken, TUC has spoken, many Nigerians are still speaking concerning this. But help us, what's the situation in the Nigeria Situation Room?
The situation is grave. The situation is grave, and that's why the statement had to be issued. At a time like this, people need to stand up, people need to talk, people need to cajole, beg, make demands on the government. Because what is at stake is not the people's convenience, it's the lives of the people, the ability of people to carry out meaningful existence with the grinding poverty in the land, multiplying every single day. Of course, we know what happened a few days ago. Again, the increase in the pump price of fuel. I bought 1,150 yesterday, and then today 1,030. That is at an NPC, but the private filling station 1,150. 10,000 naira, 7 liters. How far would it take you? And one of the most important thing you can talk about in this country today is energy. It drives the economy. And so when the price of energy gets to an unprecedented level, such as it has gotten to, what you're going to see is the chaos that you are seeing in terms of pricing, in terms of inflation, in terms of the negative effect, the cost of living, on the people. Food items essentially, 1. Drugs, medicines, 2. Because you've got to keep the body alive before you even talk about the soul. And then, of course, transportation. All of these things have gotten to an negatively unprecedented level in this country. Nigerians have never seen this level of a difficulty, of hardship. And so it brings about, serious psychological issues. People will tell you years back, if you go to the psychiatric hospitals today, you see that you have increased cases of people with all manners of issues. A lot of them are
mental health issues.
Mental health issues, thank you. A lot of them are related to the very advanced conditions that they are going through today. Everybody has a threshold. So once you get to your threshold, if care is not taken, you move over to the other side. And so this is part of the reason why we feel duty bound. Why we feel it's an obligation to speak out. Hoping that those who are in a position to actually do something about it will begin to realize that we have gotten, like I said, to an unprecedented situation.
But it does seem that Nigerians have their elasticity is totally endless. We heard from the former transport minister and former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amici, saying that he's surprised that Nigerians are not, reacting in a way that shows that they are deeply pained and totally inconvenienced with government's policies and the outcomes of those policies, at least in the short, to medium term. Every time there's an increase in the pump price of fuel, we're here saying it's never been this bad. And then we move on, there's another increase, and that's it. In terms of recommendations, what exactly is a civil society situation room saying in terms of policy directions and what have you, that this government needs to come up with beyond reeling out these problems that we all aware of and we all feel?
I'm not sure that anybody can accuse the government of not doing anything from the moment that the government came to power. The government has been doing things, all manners of things, either at the level of the Central Bank of Nigeria, in terms of the palliatives and all of that. But what we see today is the outcome. The outcome is nothing to inspire people about. We have not seen any shift from the dire, precarious situations Nigerians have found themselves in. Instead, it has gotten worse, regardless of the best efforts of the government. So something is not right. Either they are not sitting down carefully to look at the policies. And again, that we have seen a government that sometimes shoots before it asks questions. The issue, again, people keep on saying, yes, the president says, oh, we did the right thing, we are bold, but to what end?
So from
People
your research
are
team,
suffering.
sorry to cut you because
Yes,
so that
yeah.
we can quickly close it. From your research team, what do you think the government should do to tweak these policies to the ultimate good of Nigerians?
Well, I think that one of the things we've been talking about is that the government needs to meaningfully engage the people. They need to be able to get across to the people.
In what
The
way?
people,
I mean,
yeah, they need to, whether you call it round table, they need to look for a way to talk to people. That's what we've always said. But besides that, again, people need to see that the government is living by example. And I think that this is the greatest disservice that the government has been doing to its government officials. Their words do not match their actions. So you see a situation where the government says, yeah, government officials say, yes, we know things are hard, things are difficult, and then they go ahead on a spending spree, and spend monies that do not touch the lives of the people positively. So these are the things that we're talking about. They need to cut down, and that we've always, for decades now, for a very long time, over 10 years, we've been talking about the need to drastically reduce the cost of governance. We have always talked, look at when Senegal was faced with very severe challenges. What did Senegal do? They, from a bicameral legislature, they moved to unicameral. That showed responsibility, political responsibility. We've had one or two presidents or states, heads of state in Africa sell off private jet, presidential jets just because the country could not afford it. But what we do is that we buy more. And so these are some of the things. So people need to see the leadership, walk the talk. They need to see them live up to all of those claims that they make about, we love you, we understand their situation and all that. We are not seeing it. And I think that is the most serious thing. They need to live by example.
Live by example, that's the essence of the conversation. Achike Chude, the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room, thank you so much for joining us, and good to have you.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Again.